Hey guys, it's Tristan from Jury Rig here, and today we're doing something a little different. I wanted to show you how to diagnose a stuck or collapsed lifter on your 07 or newer GM V8 engine with displacement on demand. Displacement on demand is only a problem on, well, they only put it on V8s and whatnot. So basically, I'm going to show you how to diagnose it. Now, my Tahoe currently got this damn dinging. It got this problem a month after me owning it. And so it didn't have all the symptoms at first. Now I do, and so I can show you all of them. If you don't have all of them, I have a way to check. And so just bear with me and I'll show you everything. All right, we're gonna start up the car. So first, ooh, idling pretty rough. Ooh, I hear a ticking. Okay, those are symptoms. Symptom number one, check engine light. It's gonna be flashing in a minute. If you have the solid or flashing, okay, that's one symptom. You'll also see the traction control light pop up. There it is. Just knew it. Then it will say to service the, yeah, exactly, service traction control. It will also say service, service stability track. There's nothing wrong with those. This is all related to one issue. Okay, so you got those three symptoms. So now I don't have low oil pressure right now. However, before a recent oil change, I was sitting at about 18. Even on the highway, and up to 40 maybe if I really pushed it. And that is the underlying issue. Now, I would recommend fixing that. There are three issues with the oil pressure. One being the oil pressure sensor on the back of the block. It's on the top, but on the back, it can be easily accessed. It has this little filter type thing that gets gunked up over time. Replace that. Might as well replace the sensor. You can buy both for 20 bucks. Then it's also the oil pickup tube gasket in the oil pan. Good luck getting that though. And then also something about the oil pump going bad. Either it's just too old, not working correctly, it's got a crack in it somewhere. I've heard of different problems, and those three problems are the common source of the oil pressure issues. So I recommend fixing that while you fix this. Now, can you hear that ticking? Because that's another symptom. All right. Yep. So that's symptom number one. Now, I did not have that symptom at the beginning, but doesn't mean I didn't have the issue. So if you don't have the sound, you could still have a stuck lifter if you have all the rest of these symptoms. Another symptom being a hard 1 to 2 shift, or doing some research, I've heard of people having different shifts that were just really hard, and for whatever reason, the transmission wasn't shifting hard before. It was perfect, and then all of a sudden with this issue, it became the 1-2 shift really like punches you in the back of the head, and I hate it. But that's a symptom. So you got the check engine light, the traction control, the stability track, you got the hard shifts, and you got the ticking. Okay, now what you should do if you have all these problems is you should scan it. Now, if you scan the codes and there's an active misfire on one cylinder, then it will have to be on these vortex right here, this 5-liter. The displacement on demand is only on specific cylinders. So with these engines, I'm not fully versed in all the different LS engines and whatnot. So basically for this 5.3, the two displacement on demand cylinders are 4 and 6, the two middle right here. Whereas here's number 2. On this side, it goes 2, 4, 6, 8. They're all even, and they're all odd on the other side. So it's the 2 in the middle. And then the 2 on the very end, 1 and 7, those are the displacement on demand cylinders. So if your misfire is on one of those, chances are that's going to be a problem. And if it's a random misfire, or if it's not one of those cylinders, then this is probably a different issue. Now, what I did to confirm it In fact, I might be able to even put it in the video. Okay. Okay. Holy fuck. Come over here. Is to fully confirm this diagnosis, you're gonna have to pull the valve cover off, and you'll see. If you pull all the spark plug wires off of it and you try and start the motor, all of the valves will actuate, except if you have a stuck lifter, that valve will not actuate. The rocker will not move. And what I saw when I took my passenger side valve cover off is I not only saw the rocker not moving, I saw the push rod, which is, I think, is what makes that ticking noise. It basically bounces up like it should be actuating, but it's not. And so it acts like it should work. And then I could actually move my rocker arm up and down. Not good at all. So it's not putting any pressure on pushing that valve down at all. And so cylinder 4 for me is not firing. It has not been firing for a little while now. And so yeah, it gets fuel and spark, but it is not getting air. It's not I think it was only the intake valve that was doing that. And basically the whole displacement on demand thing is on the valley cover, which is flat part right here. On the valley cover, on the underside of that, inside the valley, it's got these 4 solenoids that shoot high pressure oil into the lifter holes. That tells them to turn either on or back on or off. And what the lifters will do is the bottoms have the tops really have springs, and so the bottom half is able to move, unlike a normal lifter would move all in one piece, because they are one piece. And it's hydraulic powered, and it moves up and down. And these lifters, these DoD lifters specifically, can move dependently. Each side can move independently. So when they're off, the lifter is still moving up and down with the camshaft, but it is not pushing the rocker up and down. And so it saves you gas. But that little bit of gas mileage over some years will turn into this problem. And it's not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. And it literally is present in, I mean, if you have, I've not heard of the brand new LTs and LSs doing this, but if you have like between, you know, at least 07 to 15 GM that has this displacement on demand, this can happen, and it will. It's pretty shit. And so basically how you fix it is you either take the head off, you replace the lifter with the lifter it's supposed to have, or you need to change the lifters out for just a stock replacement that would go in this engine that is not displacement on demand. They did offer all these engines that have displacement on demand without it. So there are stock parts that will go in. So basically you'd either put a new lifter, displacement on demand lifter, or not. They're different though, and the displacement on demand one is very expensive, and you replace it. And if you replace the lifters with normal ones, not displacement on demand, we'll call them DoDs, much shorter, you'll also have to replace the cam. And so you're yanking off the whole front cover, and you're yanking off both heads, and so it can be a lot of work. And if gone untreated, this can blow your motor. What it can do on the short term is it can ruin the camshaft. So even if you do replace the lifter with a normal one, because you just want a quick fix and take that head off, replace the head gasket and whatnot, well, you could be out of camshaft. So it might not be the simplest repair either way. Which brings me into my next thing I'm going to talk about is me and Vince just went to go get another 5.3 out about 120 miles away from town, and so we just picked up this thing today, and my plans for it, I'm still debating whether I want to just yank the heads off and replace the heads, build the heads, get them machined, have them all done, and then basically just swap heads, swap lifters, swap camshaft, and whatnot. But I'm thinking about rebuilding this completely, taking the crank out soon, and then just having that polished, putting new bearings in it. And I already bought a gasket set, and that is a Gen 3 5.3, and what is in my Tahoe, the Gen 4. Gen 4s have the displacement on demand. They are the same engine though. They, like, all the gaskets, everything identical. They're the same block. They're the same everything. It just has little differences. And this specifically, this is the oil pressure sensor I was talking about. If you take this off, there should be a little diaphragm under there, and it looks like a little fuel filter. Well, that gets gunked up over time, and so that's it will not be able to read the correct oil pressure, and it might not be giving you the correct oil pressure, or it might not, or it might just be telling you a lesser amount. Anyhow, so that's pretty much what I've gotten planned or in store for this Tahoe, but really sucks. I buy this thing, and a month later, the lifter gives out on me. And currently, I sold my spare car, my old shitty Honda, for this thing. I bought it for my dad, and then a month later, well, lifter. And really, I'm not one for, like, shitty quick fixes. I don't want to put those lifters, those DoD lifters, even though it would probably only be like a little weekend job to replace the head and take it off, replace the lifter and camshaft. I don't want to replace it with the stock lifter, because I want to not ever have this issue again. I never want to deal with this issue again. I want to fix it right. Not only do I want to fix it right, but I want to upgrade just slightly. So I ended up getting, a friend showed me a bunch of Brian Tooley camshafts that they make for these engines, these 5.3s. And there's one called the Torque Cam, and it makes really good low-end torque, and it does not make very high-end horsepower over stock, I believe. And but great low-end torque, like much better than any other of their very aggressive cams. So I got that, it being that it's going to be a stock motor. And I have talked to a tuner personally that says he has physically seen a 5.3 with its DoD lifters deleted, with its with a stock camshaft, stock like LS7 or other compatible lifters put in. With a tune, he's seen them pick up 70 horsepower. And I'm not looking for max horsepower gains on this truck. You know, this is going to be my daily. I want to have some gas mileage, even though I'm deleting DoD. So I'm looking for gas mileage. I'm looking for reliability, and I might as well give it some more torque, because I plan to tow stuff with this. You know, my Bonneville, and some other stuff later down the road. If I ever need to tow something, I want to be able to. It's got a 10,000 pound max, and I'm not sure if the 4L60E can really hold any more than that. Not really sure, but yeah, I'm not looking to break anything. Just making, basically, I want this motor to last. The one I got in the Tahoe is 200,000 miles right now, and I already knew that it was going to have this issue. I was just really hoping that I could get my Bonneville fixed before, and I was planning on do preventative maintenance and do the DoD delete before it ever had this problem. But that was not in the cards, you know. That's just how it goes sometimes. So I was able to get this motor for $300, and well, what can I say? It looks pretty gross and shit, but not a bad deal for these engines, actually. One thing that gave me a little fright at the start is we got it home, and I see that, and I'm like, oh shit! Well, it says 5.3 right under it. So, makes me think that they're the exact same block with just like a different stroke. I don't know. If someone does know, let me know, because I would be interested to know. I'm new to the V8 gang, so this is all new to me. So yeah, I'm glad you could be here for this experience. This is not going to be a 20-part series, but it is going to be filmed and whatnot. And honestly, that's all I can really say. We're already going on 11 minutes with this clip. So yeah. So that's my life. I'm not a very lucky person. The opposite, I guess. So, yep. So make sure you guys subscribe for more Tahoe bullshit. Vents. Oh, I need to get this cover back on. Vents is going to be building his 6.0 to swap into his Trans Am very soon. We're going to take our engines to the machine shop this Tuesday together. And so look out for that, and definitely subscribe. There's going to be more Bonneville stuff whenever we get that fixed. There's going to be more Mustang stuff when we get it to the track. And actually, the Mustang and the Trans Am are looking to get dyno numbers real soon. And so that will be cool. Chung at Blue Oval Performance in town is giving Davis some free dyno time in exchange for some fuel injectors, which is pretty funny. So that'll be cool. So definitely stay tuned for that stuff, guys. So that's about it. So have a good one. Peace out.